morning children, welcome back to our class. Today we are going to study about our fifth chapter, that is shapes and designs. Children, in first and second standard you had studied about that shapes, that is which are the shapes you know, square, rectangle, triangle and circle. That these shapes you have to study in first and second standard. Here I draw the pictures of that shapes. First is a square. Square is this one. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Rectangle, that is here also 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. In square and rectangle it has 4 sides. Then what is the difference between the square and the rectangle? What is the difference? In square, all the sides are equal. But in the case of rectangle, opposite sides are equal, are same. That is, here in the case of this one, this side and this side is same. And the other opposite sides are here and here. These two sides are same and these two sides are same in the case of rectangle. But in the case of square, all sides are equal. Okay, now triangle. Triangle has 1, 2, 3 sides. Then circle. Circle has no sides. That is, it's a line. Both the two ends of the lines join together. Both the end of the lines join together. We get the circle. Okay, this you have to study. You had to study in the last year classes. Okay. Shapes are classified into two types, 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional shapes. Simply we can say that 2D shapes and 3D shapes. 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional shapes. You can read this 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Now, what is the difference between 2D shapes and 3D shapes? Here, if we fix a 2D shapes on its surface, that object will be stick on that surface. But in the case of 3D shapes, if we place a 3D shapes on a surface, that 3D shape will be pushed. That is the main difference between 2D shapes and 3D shapes. This is because its 2D shapes has length and breadth. But in the case of 3D shapes, it has a height or width. Here, see this. This is a 2D shapes. This is a 2D shapes. When we place these 2D shapes in this blackboard, on this surface, we place these 2D shapes in this blackboard. We can see that this paper, these 2D shapes, that is this paper is stick on this board. Okay, but in the case of this is a 2D, see this, it's a 3D shapes, and when we place this on the surface or this blackboard, we can see that this object will be pushed. Okay. Now, this is because in 2D shapes, it has only length and breadth. There has only, we can see this, we can only length and breadth. But in the case of 2D shapes, length and breadth and also width is here. This is width or height. That's why when we place this object, it will be pushed because of its height. That is the difference between 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Now we are going to study about some 3D shapes. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about 3D shapes. The first is cube. The first 3D shape is cube. For how to draw this is, first you draw a square. Then again you draw a square in the corner. the corner side you draw another square. Okay, then join this. You just join the corners. You just join that corners. You get a cube. Next is cuboid. First you draw a rectangle. Instead of this square, you just draw a rectangle. In the corner, you just draw another rectangle. Okay. In the corner side, you join another rectangle, and like a cube, you join the corners. Now you get a cuboid. Then third one is a cone. This is a cone. This is a cone. This cone you can see in this is very similar to ice cream. That ice cream cone ice cream. You know. And you can see in Joker's cap is look like this cone. Okay. Here then the fourth one is cylinder. Fourth one is cylinder. Cylinder is look like this. First you draw a circle like this and draw another circle in the end. This is a cylinder. The last one is sphere. Sphere. Sphere is like this. Sphere. Look like a ball. That is sphere. Okay. These are the 3D shapes you have to study in this year. Okay. See children, here a chart of 3-dimensional shapes. In this chart, cube, cuboid, cylinder, cone and sphere. You have to find from this chart number of faces, number of edges and number of corners. We have to write number of faces, edges and corners. Okay. So here our first is cube. Cube. Now we know that how to draw a cube. Cube is here. We have to find faces, edges and corners. See, this is look like a cube. This is a cube. Because of its one of its faces square in shapes. Its face is square in shapes. So that's why it's a cube. Okay. We have to find first. We have to find the number of faces. See this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6. How many faces are here? How many faces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 faces. 6 faces. Number of edges. Next is number of edges. See. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 9, 10, 11, 12. How to find? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, how many edges are here? That is 12 edges. Okay. Then next is number of corners. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. How many corners are here? 8 corners. So, in the case of cube, number of faces 6, edges is 12 and number of corners is 8. Okay. Next is cuboid. Cuboid is also look like a cube. and in cuboid, it's one of its faces in rectangle shape. See, this is a cuboid. Okay, this shape is cuboid. Here, this is how many faces? Can you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 faces. Okay. Then how many edges? 1, 2, 3. Then 4. The back side 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. Then how many edges are here? 12 edges. Okay. Then number of corners. The last we have to find the number of corners. Corners. This is also look like a cube. In the case of a cube, how to find this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. In the case of a cuboid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, how many corners are here? 8 corners. Okay. The next is cylinder. This is almost look like a cylinder. It's how first we find number of faces. Number of faces here 1. 1. Here 1. And here 2. And one face is a curved face, not a straight face. It's a curved face. So 1, 2, and 3 faces. How many faces a cuboid have? 1, 2, and 3 faces. 3 faces. Then number of edges. Edges, we need a number of edges. So here one edge is this one. 1. The other edge is the back side of this. Okay. How many edges? 2 edges. Then number of corners. Can you see any corner here? No, there is no corner here. So number of corner is 0. Now in the case of a cylinder, the number of corner is 0. Okay. The next is cone. Cone is these shapes. Cone is this one. First we find the number of faces. Here one face is this one. See this. This is one face. That the last, the back side, this portion, the base portion. See this. This is the second face. One face is this and the second face is this one. So there are 2 faces in the case of a cone. Now we have to find number of edges. Only 1 edges. Here, see this, only 1 edge. So number of edges 1. And next is we need number of corners. So here, this is a corner. This is a corner. So number of corner of a cone is 1. Okay. Now sphere. The last one is sphere. This ball is look like a sphere. See this ball is look like a sphere. Okay. First we need number of faces. See this. Here the number of faces is what? Number of faces is only 1 face you can see. Yes, isn't it? So number of faces in a sphere is 1. Number of edges. Can you see any edge? Any edge can you see from this? No, there is no edge. So number of edge in a sphere is 0. And next is number of corners. Can you see any corner? In the case of a sphere, can you see any corner? No corner. So that's why that's also a 0. So now we get the chart this, and you should study this chart. It's a very important one. So you should study, and this figure also you should study. This is very important. That is in a case of cube. Cube is almost all faces are square in shapes. Number of faces is 6. Number of edges is 12. Number of corners we have to find is 8. Then cuboid. Cuboid and cubes look like almost same, and number of faces, edges and corners also same. One of its faces cube is square, and in the case of cuboid it is in rectangle shapes. That is the difference only. Okay. Now so number of faces of a cuboid is 6. Number of edges is 12. Number of corners is 8. And in the case of cylinder, you draw this figure, you study this figure first, and number of faces is 3, number of edges is 2, and number of corners is 0. Here cone, number of faces of a cone is 2, number of edges is 1, and number of corners is 1. Here sphere, the number of sphere is look like a ball. Number of faces is 1, and number of edge and number of corner is 0. So you should study this chart very well. It's very important. Okay. So children, today's topic you should study well. Today that is this shapes also you must draw each shapes 3 times. Okay. And study the number of faces, corners and edges of each 3-dimensional shapes. So you should study well this topic and send to me personally today itself. Thank you.